If you are struggling to take good photographs and you really want to know how to do it on your phone, then you're in exactly the right place because the lovely Sally Golden is here and she's going to talk to you about how you do exactly that. Over to you, Sally.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. And thank you everybody for listening today. So I'm going to give you just a few little insights about how to take better photographs on your phone because I find that most business owners and non-business owners, actually, when you ask them about composition, they've heard of the word composition, but they don't actually know what it is. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about composition and a few little pieces of that puzzle. So I think of composition as pieces of a puzzle. So the picture is pieces of a puzzle. And once you know about those pieces of puzzle, you put them all together, and that's when your photograph is going to come alive. Okay. So what I do is with my photography is actually try and teach people how to be more confident with it. So by teaching them about composition, they become more confident. So I am going to, as I say, think about composition. There's lots of pieces of the puzzle. And in a photograph, when I ask people, I say to them, where do you put your main focus? And they say, main focus? What do you mean, main focus? Why do we take a photograph? Because we want to capture something or we want to tell a story. So what people tend to do is not have that story or a main focus anyway, and they take lots and lots and lots of pictures. Or if they do have a main focus, they put it all in the middle. So it's actually been proven scientifically that if we don't place the main focus, that main focus could be a person, it could be a dog, it could be a rabbit, it could be a boat, it could be some people at an event. If we don't place it in the middle, which most people do or think they should, if we place it in a certain area on our picture, then it would be much, much kinder to the eye to look at. And the person that's viewing the photograph will enjoy that photograph much, much more and realize at the time what that focus point is.
Wow, I never knew that. Learned
So,
something already.
okay. So, Julie, you need to grab your phone because I want you to do this. So, I want you to grab your phone, and if you can't find it, we can talk about it later. But if you go into settings, and then you go into camera, just a little way down on that bit on your phone, you should find a grid. Now, on an iPhone, it will say grid. On some Androids, it says golden ratio. What phone if you have an
I've got
iPhone?
grid. Do I put
Got
that
grid.
on?
So on. Okay, so put grid on. And now what I want you to do is come out of there and go into, as if you're going to take a photograph of something. And what you will notice, there is now grid lines on your
Oh,
phone. Okay.
there is.
So, so this is great. So what happens now is that number one, very importantly, we can take pictures that are straight because you can get the horizon in the horizon and get a straight picture. No wonky pictures, please. They don't look good. Okay. I see so many people taking seascapes and then it's like this. You've got the water running off the earth. It's not real. It doesn't happen. Okay. So what we need to do is when we've decided what our focus point is when we're taking a photograph, it could be that person, it could be that rabbit, it could be some food, whatever you decided to take a photograph and tell your story. What we need to try and do is actually place the main point of that photograph on an intersection. Now, what you will find is when you've got your camera in front of you, your phone in front of you, on you will see two horizontal lines and two vertical lines. Okay, so what you need to try and do is that main focus point, try and arrange that so it's on one of the intersections. So where the crissy-crossy bit is an intersection. You've got four crissy-crossy bits. So what you need to try and do is get one of those focus points onto one of those crissy-crossy bits. It doesn't have to be exact,
Is it
but
on the
around.
subject matter?
Pardon?
On the subject matter.
Yeah. So I'm taking a picture of you, Julie. We're out in the forest. There's lots of beautiful trees. And rather than popping you straight in the middle, I'm going to pop you on one of those intersections. Okay. Probably one of the bottom ones. on the left, on the right hand side, with all the trees above you. So you've got lots and lots of beautiful trees, which is part of that very important story. Okay. So rather than you popping you straight in the middle, we put you on one of those intersections. So I hope that makes sense. So so no middling anymore. Okay. It's going to be on one of those sections. Right. So the second, so I did say, didn't I, that the that's actually been proven scientifically. That's kinder to the eye. So when we enjoy a picture, it's when something's really, really kind to the eye. So it's not me just making this rule up. It is actually it's
It's
real.
scientifically proven.
Science
I didn't even
proven.
know
That's
that we
right.
had such thing as a grid.
I know.
And
There
that's
we
so
go. There we
exciting.
go. And what we also, another piece of the puzzle, one of my second most important pieces of the puzzle is backgrounds. So often I'll see pictures which, it might be of a lovely person again, a lovely dog or something, or, a group of people. And then the background just doesn't quite fit. You've seen the picture, family picture, all the family are on the sofa, somebody's taken the photograph, you've got lovely granny with the grandkids, and then you've got the branch coming out of somebody's head, or or the lampshade with the lamp sitting on top of the head because they haven't positioned the person properly. So, or the Christmas tree with the baubles, or a light sticking out somebody's head to the side of them, and it just, so your eye, rather than sit, landing on the person, which is the main point of the photography or the picture, you're then seeing something else, and this can happen unconsciously. So we won't unconsciously we won't enjoy that picture quite as much as if we thought about the background. And actually, we could just step to the side slightly. We could just a little bit lower down, a little bit higher up, just so that plant or whatever isn't sticking out of somebody's head. Okay, so that's my second really huge tip. So take your picture, get your main focus point, take the photograph, then have a look and see what you can improve. Do I need to move slightly? I mean, sometimes, Julie, sometimes you've just got to get the picture because it's gone. So just grab the picture, and obviously you can't always decide what's going to happen in that day or when you're taking photographs. So you do the best you can, but backgrounds is huge. And lastly, light. So if, for instance, you're taking some photographs and you're in the kitchen, you've got a lovely table right next to the window, just be careful what time of day you're taking those pictures, because if you've got some lovely light coming through the window, which is safe in the evening, it might be a couple of hours before the sun goes down, and the light is actually going to be warm, sort of like a yellow tinge to it. Now, if you have some white blue lighting in your house and you decide to switch that on, you're going to have blue and yellow lighting, or cool and warm lighting hitting your subject, which might be food, it might be, taking a picture of whatever you sell, whatever product, it could be anything. So if it's not what a professional person taking a photograph would do. They wouldn't mix the light sources. They'd only have one color. Okay. If you're out in the garden, you want to, or an event, again, watch your backgrounds, watch what's going on around you. If you're taking a picture of yourself as a selfie, just be careful of, a lot of people still think that you should be taking a picture with the light source right at you, so it's facing you. Now, what can happen is you squint because the sun's so bright. We've had a lot of that lately. So just have your phone up here when you're doing your selfie and just move round. And at some point, the light will just fall off your face. It may be just slightly to the side, and it would just soften your face rather than, creating harsh shadows and squinting, which isn't particularly attractive on us. So we want nice light. If you can't find any nice light, then just try and get under cover somewhere. It could be a tree, which is somewhere that, if it's really, really harsh, complete blue sky, masses of light coming at you, then or a doorway, you can take a picture. But again, just be careful with the background and what you're doing. So
Can I ask
that's,
you a question?
yes.
Is there a definite no-no for taking pictures or sort of portraits of somebody? You know, is it like if you don't want to be looking up at them or you don't want to be looking down at them? What, you know, is there a what's the rule there if there was is one?
So try and do it a little bit more. I mean, people always worry about their necks. So
Yes.
with ladies, we don't want to be shooting upwards. It's not
Right.
nice to shoot upwards. It elongates, but also we don't want to shoot up somebody's nose. That's
No.
not nice. So we don't want to do that. So if we shoot actually eye height, that's probably a better position, but maybe just slightly downwards, because lots of ladies, depending on what age, um, would rather have slightly downwards just so that we can yeah, so slightly downwards, but not too much, because if I took a picture up here of myself, it's going to make me squat. So if you take a picture from above down onto somebody, it makes them shorter, upwards makes them longer. So just be careful with that. And again, just take 2 or 3 pictures, just changing position slightly, and obviously taking in consideration the background and where the light source is. Hope that answers your question.
That is so, so helpful. And I
Good.
know you run camera phone workshops, don't you,
I
Sally?
do. I
Yeah.
do.
And also, obviously, you're a photographer.
Yes, I've been a photographer for about 18 years now.
Specializing in what specifically, Sally? Anything?
Mainly corporate photography, updating websites, updating team pages, so lots of headshots, business portraits, people that want their LinkedIn or their social media pictures updated.
Why should a company have really good pictures? And why should they not be stock images?
So if they have, if it's so much more authentic, isn't it? If they have the pictures of themselves rather than stock images or even AI images. I can help with MI, AI as well. MI, what's that? What's to come? That's to come. There's gonna be an everything I, isn't there?
But isn't it
Um,
true though that if it's a stock image, I heard that it can be traced to other people's sites and
yeah, maybe.
therefore,
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Possibly,
someone told
possibly.
me that. Yeah.
But the whole point of my workshops is to, to help people gain the confidence to be able to take the pictures authentically of themselves. And we love to see pictures of people, don't we? And when they're real, we love it even more than if we had some kind of made up picture of somebody on AI. I'm not against AI at all. I use it myself, not particularly in my photography, but yeah.
Wow, that's so, so useful. And I'm excited about the grid now that I know
Yes,
that
yes.
it's on and I can use it. So thank you so much, Sally. I'm going to put
You're
all your links
welcome.
below in the
Thank you
description.
so much. Thank you.
So for you, for yos, whoever
For
that is,
you.
for those of you that have really enjoyed what Sally's had to say and can really start to implement those things and also potentially learn some more, then get in touch with her. As I say, links will be below. Mine will be there as well. And get in touch and ask a question, say hello. So thank you very much, Sally, and thank you everyone else for watching.